Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of What's Happening on Saugus TV. I'm Brian Nadeau, the Executive Director of Saugus TV and the host of the program. It was a short week due to the holiday, but it was still chock full of landscape-changing meetings. We start off first with Saugus TV's own John Prudent, who covered not one, but two Selectmen meetings last week. Both meetings ended up having lots of discussion. Right, John?
Thanks, Brian. Hey, Saugus. John Prudent here. This week, it's all about the power of two with the Board of Selectmen. The Selectmen held two meetings, one of which had two locations. We begin with their January 17th meeting. The most notable items on that night's agenda were a series of correspondences and a couple of public hearings, one of which featured a presentation by Win Waste Innovations. The Board of Selectmen then returned January 19th. That night's meeting began with a recorded portion in the first floor town hall conference room where the Selectmen voted to move upstairs to the auditorium for the live portion. Once there, the Selectmen held a roundtable style evaluation with Town Manager Scott Crabtree. The Town Manager was given a chance to speak on his accomplishments as well as future plans for the town. A vote was then taken to move the meeting back downstairs for an executive session, after which a vote to adjourn would be made upstairs. You can catch a rebroadcast of these two meetings on Saugus TV Government Channel 9. Just check the Saugus TV website and program guide for date and time. And as with all the meetings we record, these two are available online at vimeo.com/Saugus Television. Well, that's it, but not all, because here's Brian again with the rest of the show.
Thanks, John. Next up is Production Manager Michelle Fox, who covered a short but shocking school committee meeting, as well as two productions here at the station. One in the kitchen and a brand new production in the podcast room. Take it away, Michelle.
Thanks, Brian. I'm Michelle, the production manager. Last Thursday, the school committee met for their regularly scheduled meeting. After holding an executive session, they returned and Chairman Vinnie Serino read a statement that announced Superintendent Aaron McMahon would be going on paid administrative leave due to personal reasons. After that, they continued with the short meeting, which mostly consisted of public comment. You can watch this meeting on Channel 9 or on our Vimeo page. Last week, we also filmed a new episode of What's Cooking. This time, Sophia made us one of her favorite recipes from her childhood growing up in West Africa. She made rice cakes called masa shinkafa, which she drizzled with honey in the end. This episode will air on Channel 8 once it's done cooking. Mona was back again last week, but this time she was not in the kitchen. 2023 will be the start of her podcast, Mona's Biz Bites, where she talks about what it's like to start her own business. She will also talk to other small business owners about their stories. It was only her first training day on the podcast equipment, and she already recorded and edited her trailer for the podcast. You can watch her trailer on Vimeo and Channel 8. That's it for me. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Michelle. As if that wasn't enough, there was also a long planning board meeting. Program Manager Rachel Brugman was there and joins us now with that meeting, as well as the Saugus TV program schedules for the week. All yours, Rachel.
Thanks, Brian. Hello, Saugus. I'm Rachel Brugman, and I'm excited to tell you what's happening this week in programming. Before we get to that, there was a planning board meeting last week where there were continued public hearings on 1431 Broadway and Bellevue Heights Estates, as well as an A&R on 83 Winter Street. This week on Channel 8 will be Wrestling Legends with your host, Rocky Boston Bad Boy Raymond, and his guest, Mark Estrich, Tuesday at 11 a.m. Wednesday, you might want to see Kids Bowling. If you do, tune in at 3 p.m. If Children Bowling wasn't riveting enough for you, then you must continue to watch this Wednesday till 5:30 p.m. when we will broadcast our second live community outreach meeting. Then at 2:30 p.m. on Thursday, you can watch People Will Talk, the 1951 drama which is back by popular demand. If you have seen something in the past on Saugus TV and would like us to air it again, please email me at r.brugman@saugustv.org. And your wish can come true. Moving right along is Empire Pro Wrestling with the second half of the East Boston Battle Royale at 7 p.m. on Friday. Saturday afternoon at 3:30 is the 1971 Western Badman's River. Lee Van Cleef teams up with another guy and they try to rob the Mexican government of a cool mill. Finally, on Saturday at 10 p.m. will be the 1963 horror Black Sabbath. Boris Karloff hosts this trio of horror stories, which holds some very spooky characters. Don't miss it. This week on Channel 9, you can see the Board of Appeals meeting from the 26th, Friday at 8:30 p.m. This week on Educational Channel 22, check out new sports games which will air at 8:30 p.m. Tuesday, count on wrestling versus multiple schools from the 21st. And Thursday will be boys basketball versus Beverly from the 24th. That's what's happening this week in programming. To see more dates and times, visit saugustv.org. Take it away, Brian.
Thanks, Rach. Need more? Well, you know where there's SHS winter sports games, sports producer Anthony Michella and member volunteer Nick Raffio are most likely going to be there. Here they are now to tell you what went down last week. Guys?
What's up, Saugus? Sports producer Anthony Michella back here with the illustrious Nick Raffio for this edition of What's Happening here at Saugus TV. Now let's dive into the recap of a stacked week. Tuesday, the 17th, we started off strong with a banger. Game of the week, and it was against the Falcons. We had the two cameras. We had Nick. We had Binna. They were doing commentary. It actually didn't come out, so our apologies to everyone on TV that watched it. But everyone in attendance heard it. So now, Nick, why don't you tell us a little bit about who the player of the game we picked was?
The player of the game goes to Josh Osawi, the senior, where he had 36 points in that game. What an outstanding performance by Josh. He brought everything he could to that game. Congrats to Josh from us.
Yeah, that's right. Josh was killing it in that game, both from behind the three-point arc and in the paint. And also, that was right, it was a rare audio mistake from yours truly. Sorry to Nick and Binna for that. Wednesday, the 18th, it was me, solo, back in the gymnasium for a wrestling battle against the visiting Triton Regional Vikings. Friday the 20th, it was redemption day for me, as I made sure there wouldn't be any mic problems here for Nick or Binna. Now the boys battled back and forth with Swampscott, and they drained it. Pretty wild game. Nick, tell us what you thought.
It was insane. The crowd was definitely into it. And the boys did it. The swamp is drained, and it's now dry.
That's right. 2 big wins this week. Congrats to our boys. Now, Saturday the 21st, I was back into the gym. Too early for my own good, as I covered 3 matches in the varsity quad event. First up was Wilmington Wildcats. Easy win. Second was Franklin County Eagles. First shutout in Saugus wrestling history. Shout out to Mr. Ledbury for the stat on that one as well. And Northeast Fenwick Crusaders, they met the same fate as the other 2. They took that L. Stayed late, got 2 of those up quickly for everyone. And the third one just uploaded this morning. And today's a big day for you, isn't it, Nick?
Yes, it is. The Graph Report returns today, where Junior Captain Tommy DeSimone and Senior Captain Jaden Smith will join me in studio. Stay tuned for that.
That's right. It's a snowy day out there, and we got to get this studio all set up for the Graph Report. So remember, you can catch all of our live coverage on our YouTube and all of the replays your little heart can desire on Channel 22 throughout the day, and all of our past games are available 24/7 on YouTube as well. Well, that's it for me, Mark. Back to you in there, Brian.
Thanks, guys. And that'll do it for this episode. Remember, if you like what you see here and would like to get involved with Saugus TV in any way, including producing your own show or podcast, or helping us out on any of our productions, please give us a call at 781-231-2883 or email us at info@saugustv.org. Have a good week, Saugus. Thanks for watching.